Hi there and welcome back to Fortune Reviews. Today we are standing with the most luxurious and powered packed SUV from Tata. Yes, we are talking about the Tata Hexa. So without any further delay, let's begin with the review. So as always, starting from the front fascia of the car, there is this smile chrome grille which has the honeycomb and the chrome accents given right below it. The chrome accents merge into the headlamps which are smoked out and have halogens for the upper beam and projector for the lower beam. There are also LED DRLs along with the fog lamps, which along with serving their purpose also look good and give the car a muscular look. There are those chisel lines on the bonnet which give the car an aggressive feel. Along with it, there is also skid plates given right at the front and also at the back, which give the car a SUV feel. So now let's talk about the side profile of the car. From the side profile, it also looks like a MUV, so we can call it a SUV cum MUV. The wheel arches are also big enough and house the best in class 19-inch alloy wheels. There are those chrome accents given right below the window which have the Hexa branding given right at the end. The chrome accents are actually carried all over the car. The door handles also have chrome accents which give the car a unique look. So now let's talk about the rear end of the car. There are those all LED tail lamps which are actually wrap around tail lamps, which also merge into the rear chrome strip, which is pretty big, and if it was a bit thinner could have looked better, but it's up to personal liking. There is also this chrome strip which along with serving its purpose looks good. The ground clearance is actually 209 mm, so you can go off-road anytime you like. Now speaking of the bumper houses a skid plate along with dual exhaust tips which give the car a sporty look. But let's first talk about the boot and boot capacity. The boot is actually very heavy and would require some effort to open it. There is this 150-liter boot storage when the seats are up. It can house your small sacks and suitcases, but if you need a bigger space you can fold the third row of seats, and if you need more space you can always fold the second row of seats, which empties up room, which is very great for house transfers as well. But there is a problem with the folding of the seats because they do not fold perfectly flat, and it will require a slight bit of effort to load in your big suitcases. There is also a charging point or a charging socket given behind which can be used in the boot to charge your laptops and also can be used for the third row of passengers as well. Now that we are done with the exterior, let's get to the interior. So now that we are inside, let's talk about the interior and its design. The dashboard is very well laid out. It has the AC vents which have accents given all over it. Speaking of the instrument cluster, it shows your revs along with speed, and the MID is a typical MID which gives the detailed information about the car. The infotainment screen in my opinion is slightly small, but there are controls given right besides it. Now speaking of the storage spaces, there are 6 bottle holders given for each passenger. The front row actually has only 1 cup holder. Now speaking of the glove box, there is twin glove box, out of which one is cooled glove box and it is located in the top portion of the dashboard, and the other one is a regular box which can be locked with a key of the car. Now let's talk about the rear seats. The rear seats are captain seats and are very comfortable. The armrest and the cup holders given right below the AC vents are also very useful. The AC vents are actually located right in between the 2 front seats and are located in the pillars as well. There are these sun blinds which are standard from the base model. Now speaking of the seats have a very generous thigh support, but for people who are short in height it may dig into their legs, but you can always stretch your legs below the driver seats and sit comfortably. Speaking about the music system, there is a 10-speaker JBL system which consists of 5 speakers, 4 tweeters and a subwoofer which is located right on the boot lid. Now there are also magazine holders given right besides the driver and passenger seats which can be useful for long trips. Now that we are in the third row of seats, as usual it is best suited for kids and short people only. There are cup holders given right besides each seat, and there are also AC vents mounted on the C-pillar. So now that we are done with the interior is actually very spacious and luxurious. There are special touches given by Tata all over the interior. Now let's get to the driving experience of the car. So now that we are inside the car, let's talk about the engine first. The engine is a 2.2 liter Varicore 400 engine. It produces 156 PS of power and 400 Newton meters of torque. The low end torque is a bit less, but the mid range is very good and the car is stable at high speed as well. The engine is mated to a 6-speed manual transmission which needs a firm hand to shift through gears in city, which can be a bit annoying because for city driving you will need to shift gears very frequently. There is also automatic transmission, which is a 6-speed automatic transmission, and the same engine is also available in the Safari, but it is in a different state of tune. Now speaking of the steering and the handling of the car is stable at higher speed as I mentioned earlier. The braking is also very good and the steering according to me is a bit to the softer side. There are 4 driving modes which you can choose from. There is automatic, comfort, dynamic and rough road as well. Now speaking about the average mileage of the car, Tata claims 17 to 18 kilometers per liter, but actual mileage that customers get is 12 to 13 kilometers per liter, which is quite great for a 2.2 liter engine. Now again, a special mention needs to be made for the sun visors because they are extendable as the window of the car is very big. Now speaking of the suspension is great for off-roading and can absorb all the bumps that you throw at it. The tires are also wide and big enough to go off-roading anytime you desire. So this was the kind of overview for the Tata Hexa. As this car is old but is still in demand, we decided to do the overview. So hope you like it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. This is Fortune Reviews signing off. Thank you.